Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
One, hello, check. Okay, we're sorry for the audio problems. Let's get back to it here. The slideshow stakes, $75,000 event for Oklahoma-bred 2-year-old fillies. They're going a mile in this one. And the morning line favorite, and probably an overwhelming post-time favorite, is Morning Twilight, who took the Oklahoma Classics Lassie back in October. She's 2 for 2 and has $76,000 plus in earnings. She's a daughter of Morning Line out of the Medaglia Doro mare, Sweet Golden Carol. Steve Asmussen, the trainer. Stuart Elliott was aboard for her Oklahoma Classics victory and will be in the irons tomorrow night. Morning Twilight, again, the morning line favorite, and most likely a strong post-time favorite as well. 5 of the 7 horses in the slideshow have never gone further than 6 furlongs. There are 2 horses in there that have, and they were in a race together back on October 29th, a maiden claiming event. What a Babe. She's the 2 horse at the back of the pack on the outside, starting to make her move and pass up some horses here. The 7 horse is Definest Okie, and he'll get up here into the 2nd position and maintain that throughout as What a Babe passes him. This was a 1-mile event, and these are the only 2 horses in the slideshow that have gone more than 6 furlongs. So that's something to consider when making any selections you may be making in regard to the slideshow stakes. Don McNeil is open to all genders, but for the most part, it's always been the field's always been colts and geldings. It's a 1-mile event as well, and carries the same $75,000 amount purse. One of the contenders in this race is Steals All In by Fed Biz out of the Wild Again mare Shabango. He went postward on September 18th in this maiden claiming event at 5.5 furlongs. Steals All In is trained by Austin Gustafson, ridden by Ramon Vasquez. The gelding is owned by Dream Walkin' Farms. The morning line favorite in the Don McNeil is Rowdy Rascal, shown here, winning the $100,000 Oklahoma Classics Juvenile, owned by JT Stables, trained by Boyd Castor and Freddie Manrique. Was in the saddle here. He returns tomorrow night in the Don McNeil to ride Rowdy Rascal again. $87,000 in earnings. He's won 2 of his 5 starts and ran second one time. A set of Den's Legacy and Dancing Diva by Affirmative. Dancing Diva, an outstanding Oklahoma-bred mare that was an Oklahoma champion a few times. And yes, the Rowdy Rascal lives up to his name. Shooting that video this morning and pulled some shenanigans there. As we said, Boyd Castor is the trainer of Rowdy Rascal, and I talked with him this morning about his horse in the Don McNeil Stakes.
Rowdy's one of those horses, he looks for his next adventure. I mean, you know, whether it's 6 furlongs or whether it's 2 miles, I mean, he's going to get up, you know, he's going to try and do his best at whatever he does. I mean, the neat thing about him is he gives you 100%.
You indicated that there's a lot of times he lives up to his name.
He does. Joe and Teresa Moore, they named him right when they called him Rowdy Rascal, because since he was a little baby, he just fits the word rowdy. I mean, he's just rowdy about a lot of things, you know.
How do you see it setting up for him to be in the winner's circle Friday?
Well, he's just, you know, in those kind of races, you got to have a little bit of luck. First time going around 2 turns. you know, I know he does everything right in the morning, but when it comes right down to showtime, I mean, that's when it counts. And you know, a couple of these other horses, they're bred to run down the racetrack that's in there, so it'll be a good race, really. You know, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Boyd Castor, trainer of Rowdy Rascal. He's going in the Don McNeil Stakes tomorrow night at Remington Park. Now, what will probably be the card topper, considered the card topper by most folks, at Remington Park tomorrow night, the Silver Goblin Stakes, named after the great gray silver goblin. $70,000 the purse, Oklahoma-bred 3-year-olds and up, running 6.5 furlongs. And Boyd Castor has another horse in here, Quality Rocket. Many times known as a turf horse, but that's not exclusive by any means. Quality Rocket, multiple stakes winner. He was third in the Silver Goblin last year. His son of Backstabber and the King of Scat mare, Lady Cambridge, has won the 7.5 furlong Red Earth Stakes 2 years in a row. And this is his performance in that race in September. Quality Rocket, trained by Boyd Castor, Ramon Vasquez, in the irons tomorrow night in the Silver Goblin. Quality Rocket does like the grass, eating it and running on it. 36 starts, 11 wins, 9 seconds, and a third, with $409,000 in earnings. He's second in the morning line. Quality Rocket will be probably be considered fairly highly by the betting public at Remington Park tomorrow night. You're Romantic by Euro Ears out of the Air Commander mare Saka was fourth in the Oklahoma Classic Sprint in October. Earlier in the meet on September 10th, he won this allowance race. Euromatic, trained by Vic Hansen, owned by Vic's Bar VH Ranch. Alfredo Triana will ride Your Romantic tomorrow night in the Silver Goblin. I caught up with trainer-owner Vic Hansen. We talked a little bit about his horse, Your Romantic.
He's pretty versatile, where he don't mind going to the front, but he basically likes to stalk, and then kind of, about mid-turn, if he can get towards eye level, that's probably his most comfort. But the last stake we were in, we didn't break real well, and we kind of steadied, and we were closing, on those other horses that day, which was nice to see. With that much speed and that much talent to be able to close some, I think speaks a lot for my horse.
Vic Hansen, trainer and owner of Your Romantic. Since the great welder has retired, the heir apparent, at least for now, is a horse named Shannon C., who in Welder's last race of his career defeated Welder, that being the Oklahoma Classic Sprint. Shannon C. is a winner of his last 2 starts. The first of those is the Remington Park Turf Sprint in September. 5.5 furlongs on the Remington lawn. And here he is after chasing down the leaders and just winning by a head. The next race was the Oklahoma Classic Sprint, where the son of Leighton Heat and Miranda Diane by fist fight took on a good field that was topped by Welder. He sat off the pace a little bit further than he did in his turf sprint performance, but made his move a lot earlier and was able to open up a good 3-length lead at the wire, defeating Welder and a few others, including Euromanic, to win the Oklahoma Classic Sprint. 27 starts, 7 wins, 11 seconds, and 2/3 with $359,000 plus in earnings. Shannon C. is the morning line favorite. I talked with his conditioner, Scott Young, about the upcoming race.
Shannon has come into Remington training very well, and obviously he's been racing like he's been training. You know, we had a summer campaign, kind of got him ready up in Minnesota, and he was training in Iowa, and once we got him back here to Remington, he seems to like it here, and he's trained wonderful for us, and continues to train wonderful.
Victorious on both surfaces. Has he tried the turf before in his career?
We had tried a couple times last year. He run second in the turf sprint last year. Got beat ahead and come back and won it this year, and then followed up with the classic sprint win on the dirt. Well, we kind of had a different idea how the race was going to unfold. We thought Shannon would be a little more forwardly placed away from the gate. You know, he usually leaves there running real fast, real hard, and tries to carry it as far as he can. And Leandro said he had to go to plan B. He kind of broke in a little bit of a shuffle, and just he settled him once the horses were going fairly fast on the front end, and he settled well. And then obviously whenever he got a chance to run down the stretch, that was pretty impressive. It was a quality bunch of horses. I mean, he didn't just, he had to work for it, and he was tired after the race, but he ran hard.
Coming into the Silver Goblin, of course, we're still a week away, a little more than, but how's he been doing? What's his regimen been leading up to?
He's been training fantastic. He's always been a good workhorse, always loves to train. He's continuing to train well. It's always been we've always thought the distance was a little bit limited for Shannon, but as he's gotten older, and some of the younger horses, to be honest, are just getting a little quicker than him early, and he's learned to rate and kind of reserve himself so we're excited to stretch him out to the 6.5 furlongs to see what he can do, and we're expecting the same results as the classics.
What is his quality that you like best about him, an attribute?
He's just a fun horse to be around, just to be around him, and just to know that when he goes out and runs, every race of his career, he's given us 110%. He has not cheated us in one race. And earlier in his career, it was just he would run super fast early, and they would catch him late. But as he's gotten older, we're excited to see how it's unfolded this year, and how he's become a little, I guess you could say, mature for a 6-year-old. But he's learned to reserve himself and finish the races.
Silver Goblin Stakes topping the card tomorrow night at Remington Park. 6.5 furlongs, older Oklahoma breds going in that one. Slideshow Stakes, $75,000 to purse. 2-year-old fillies running a mile, as they will be in the gender non-specific race. The Don McNeil Stakes, mile, $75,000 to purse again. These are the big races coming up tomorrow, Friday, November 12th at Remington Park. You're going to see some good thoroughbred horse racing at Remington through December 17th, which is closing weekend of the Fall Thoroughbred meeting. it's all topped off on that day by the $400,000 Springboard Mile for 2-year-olds. And that usually draws a lot of big-time 2-year-old horses from across the country, and it's a great race. You should make your plans to come out on the 17th of December. A lot of horse racing to come until that time, though. We're glad you joined us here tonight. Sorry for the audio problems we had, and sorry for the mic we had to settle on using here. There's a big difference, probably. My name's Keith Stahl-Voorhees. Glad you've been with us. Hope to see you next time.
Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.